Today on rLounge, we can't let people walk all over us. If someone doesn't like our boundaries, tough luck, that's on them. Up first, a sister-in-law who learns that no means the hard way. Am I the a-hole for calling the police on my boyfriend's family? Last year I moved in with my boyfriend and his dad. My boyfriend and I were in a long-distance relationship for a few years, and I moved across the country to be with him after I finished graduate school. Due to such a large distance, I opted to sell my car and buy a new one after moving. When I did this, my boyfriend helped me out by loaning me some money to help pay the down payment, but I have since paid him back. Last week, my boyfriend's older sister, who lives in another state, came to visit and stayed in the house with us. This was my first time meeting her, and I thought she was very nice, but I didn't get to know her well. 2 days ago, my boyfriend and I were out running errands together, and his sister called him to ask when he would be back so she could borrow his car to go hang out with her friends in a town about an hour away. He told her it would be a while, and she then asked if it was okay to borrow my car. My boyfriend asked me, and I told him I was not comfortable with that and to tell her no. My boyfriend did tell her no. I heard the entire conversation. Well, a few hours later, my boyfriend and I got home and my car was gone. I was shocked and my boyfriend was confused. When we went into the house, his dad informed us that he gave my boyfriend's sister the spare keys to my car that was in the lockbox because she said she needed to go somewhere. My boyfriend told him that she asked to drive my car and that we had told her no, so he didn't understand why she was allowed to take it. And his dad said that since my boyfriend helped pay for the car, that it therefore was partly his, which meant his sister had the right to drive it as well. I was absolutely livid and I couldn't believe that anyone would do something like this. My name is the only one on the title, insurance, etc. I am the sole owner. My boyfriend told his dad to call her and tell her to bring my car back immediately, and she said she would be home soon. Well, after 2 hours, I called the police and reported my car stolen because I was worried that if it got damaged or something, then I would be forced to pay the repairs even though it wasn't my fault. My boyfriend's dad and sister were pissed about this, and they accused me of trying to get them arrested. They are now demanding that I apologize to them and tell the police it was all a misunderstanding, but I really don't want to because I feel that they've tried to take advantage of me. My boyfriend agrees with me, but he even said he thinks calling the police to report the car stolen may have been too far. Am I the a-hole? Let's see what the community thinks. CBM984 says, not the a-hole. It wasn't a misunderstanding. She straight up stole your car. If she had gotten arrested, she'd have no one to blame but herself. Also, considering what an a-hole your boyfriend's dad is, you should probably look into moving out as soon as you can. ThorowRA Boozebag31 says, not the a-hole. F 'em. It's funny how the thing that goes too far is always the thing that works. Perplexed J says, not the a-hole. She asked to borrow your car. You said no. She took your car despite you saying no. She stole your car. You reported her for stealing your car because, again, she stole your car. Don't back down, or I predict this sort of thing will happen more in the future with your sister-in-law and father-in-law. If you're the sole owner to the car and something happens to it, then you're absolutely liable for whatever that is. You don't know his sister, and when she asked, you said no. Therefore, you're not the a-hole. She technically stole the car, so you weren't in the wrong to report it stolen. What do you think? Next up, how to find out who your true friends are and get a concussion in the process. Am I the a-hole for getting my ex-friend kicked out of our friend group due to my service dog? Hi everyone. I just want to start by saying I'm pretty sure I'm not the a-hole, but my friend and her family are pretty certain that I am. Please bear with me. I'm just wanting some clarity over this situation to make sure I'm not crazy. I, 24 female, have epilepsy. I have a service dog, fully certified, who is trained to help me with my seizures. I have been diagnosed since a child, and I have had my current dog, Bailey, for 4 years now, and she is the bestest girl around. Before Bailey, I had a previous service dog, who we had to retire due to age, but having a service animal is by no means new for me. With her being a service dog, she is obviously always with me. I have a core friend group who hangs out quite often. My one friend, let's call her Anna, also 24 female, always makes really weird and almost passive-aggressive comments about me and Bailey. X. Dogs don't come to restaurants. I'm inconveniencing people, etc. She doesn't get that I legitimately need her for my own safety. It's not just for show. My seizures are really regular. For context, I actually get 2 different kinds. My small ones are petite mal seizures. This essentially just looks like I'm zoning out and staring into space. Quite often people who don't know me wouldn't even connect this. My big ones are my main concern. These are focal seizures where I fully lose consciousness. This can happen a couple times a day for me, so it's obviously really important that I manage it to the best of my abilities. Anyways, Our friend Anna wanted to host a games night, appy night type thing at her house. When we get there, she lost it on me. She told me it was incredibly disrespectful that I showed up with Bailey without asking for permission first, that I can't just assume people will be happy with a dog always being around, that I should have just stayed home if I couldn't handle being out for a few hours without Bailey. I tried apologizing and pointing out that I assumed she knew I was bringing her since I've never gone anywhere without her. That set her off more. The guys were finally able to calm her down, but her compromise was I had to put Bailey in the backyard. I was an idiot and said fine because I didn't want to inconvenience anyone more or continue stirring the pot. Bailey went outside and I returned inside with my friends. I ended up having a seizure, blacking out and smashing my head on the floor. I had to go to the hospital because of how hard I hit my head. I guess my friend group absolutely handed Anna her butt, calling her hateful, toxic, and a jealous witch. I guess she was trying to say that I passed out for the attention and I got my way like always. Long story short, no one wants her around anymore. Since this happened to her, her sister and mom have been blowing up my phone, calling me the a-hole and demanding I fix the situation, and it's honestly getting to me. So Reddit, am I the a-hole? Ask for an opinion, you'll get one. Ellery TMLH says, "Oh my gosh, not the a-hole. She literally caused you to suffer a medical incident. She had so little regard for your health and well-being that she caused you actual harm. I'd be sending her mom, and her sister copies of the hospital bill and then cutting them off completely." The OP replies, "Thank God I live in Canada, my medical is covered. I haven't been replying to them anymore. I'm taking space. It's just brutal." Robbie Randall says, "Not the a-hole. I really hope you're okay after the seizure and also hitting your head. I have to commend your willingness to compromise that you'd risk getting hurt and then actually getting hurt. I know it's not intentional, but it sure got your point across. If your friend was a normal person, she would have apologized after the incident, but she doubled down and said you did it essentially on purpose. I think this is where she lost everyone. To be honest, this is the least a-hole story I've read on the OP. Obviously, the a-hole is this Anna." The OP replies, "Thank you so much. I'm okay. I'm honestly used to the seizures by this point. I'm recovering from a pretty gnarly concussion. Also a bit of embarrassment having to explain to the doctors on why I didn't have Bailey with me. But that's totally my fault. I gave in. But you're right, it definitely got the point across, not that I actually intended to have a seizure." Update. From what everyone has said, I am clearly not the a-hole. Thank you all for your concern and well wishes. Anna and her family have been blocked and I will no longer be in contact with her. It was also brought up to me by another user that there was a similar post posted a few weeks ago from a host's perspective. This is not the same post. My situation happened really recently, a lot more recent than whatever the previous post was. I'm shocked to hear that this has happened before, but yeah, it's 100% not related to ours. Finally, I've had a few comments about my dog being certified that I want to clarify. I'm not from the US, so I'm unsure what your guys' process is like. But all I mean is that Bailey has gone through the required testing, training, and registration to ensure she is legally allowed to be classified as a service animal. Anna put your life in jeopardy by demanding that you put Bailey in the backyard. That's not what friends do. You honestly could have died, and had Bailey been there, you could have been much better prepared and alerted that something was just about to happen. Bailey is a means of survival for you. She has a job to do. It's not just a dog. You are absolutely not the a-hole. The fact that Anna and her mother can't understand that is completely deplorable, and it's shocking that your friends didn't actually speak up sooner at the game night rather than letting Anna treat you and Bailey that way, and then you having the seizure. Thoughts? Next, how other people manage their time is their prerogative. Am I the a-hole for telling my coworker that my solo picnic is as important as her daughter's recital? I, 29 female, started working at a new company 8 months ago. I was headhunted specifically for the role I have, which gave me enough power to negotiate my contract like I wanted. One of the things I managed to get was a clause that prohibited my employer from contacting me outside work hours. If it is a true emergency, then they can send me an email. Otherwise, they can't even send me a text. Furthermore, I have a separate work phone that I shut down at 5 on the dot, then turn on at 9 a.m. Another thing is that I don't work overtime. I am very efficient, so my work is done by 3 p.m., 5 p.m. if we have an emergency. I also take my whole lunch break outside the office, and my coffee breaks away from my desk. My coworkers are not the same. They tend to socialize during work hour, and have work left for afterwards. They sometimes ask me to help, but I always decline by saying that I have plans. I don't go into details, I just say that I have plans. These plans are 99% of the time just include going home, reading books, or sleeping, but that is my personal time. Monday, a coworker asked me if I could stay a bit later to help her out. Apparently she was late with some essential work, but had to be done by that night because she had to attend her daughter's recital at 6. I said that I was sorry, but I had plans. It was a nice day, so instead of going home, I just went to a park to read while breathing some fresh air, brought some fruit and bubble tea, and made a picnic out of it. My coworker found me there, and she was pissed. She said that I could have helped her if I didn't have plans. I said that I do have plans, this impromptu picnic. She said that it wasn't as important as her daughter's recital. So I said that, for me, it was even more important than her daughter's recital. She called me an a-hole, and some of my friends agree. So am I the a-hole? Edit. So I log off for a few hours, log back in expecting maybe 100 comments. I am blown and thank everyone for their judgment. Not the a-hole. You're the a-hole, or everybody sucks here. Now for some important things. How did she find me in the park? The park is small, near her daughter's school. I didn't know that, and I was sitting closer to the street. She was driving by looking for parking when she spotted me and decided to confront me. I guess she wasn't that late for the recital. We're not on the same team. She asked for help because she knew I know how to do her tasks, not because we're on the same team working the same project. For people who are worried about my career, thank you, but don't worry. I'm not planning to climb the corporate ladder. All I want is a job that pays enough to live a comfortable middle-class life. I invested in a bit of a niche, rare skill set, and it paid me back with a six-figure salary and being very sought after. All I have to do is maintain my skill set and keep up with the times, and I will be golden. I have had offers from all around my state, and a few more. For those who say that I am a miserable loner, I have a very fulfilling personal life with a tight-knit family and a great friend circle. I just prefer to not mix work and personal life, and that means no befriending coworkers. Made that mistake early on, but I learned from it. And lastly, for those saying an impromptu picnic is not plans, enjoying my personal time is and has always been my plans. Let's check with the community to see what other kinds of judgments we can get. Major Barnacle 2212 says, I mean, you're living 10,000% in the black and white definition of your job responsibilities. If you're asking if you are wrong for refusing to change your boundaries, you're not the a-hole. If you're asking if I would like working with you, also probably no, but I don't think that will keep you up at night. The OP replies, here's the thing. I never ask anyone else to help me with my workload. If I have an urgent appointment and am out of PTO, I just take unpaid leave. I don't do anyone any favors, since I don't like to work more than the minimum I can, but I never expect favors from anyone too. A deleted user had this to say, not the a-hole. However, one day you might need help and your coworkers will remember how inflexible you were. You obviously have every right to reject helping out your coworkers, but just remember that when you inevitably need help and everyone else has plans, there's consequences to the work lifestyle you detailed. As long as you're okay with that, Godspeed. This is one of those, technically you're not an a-hole, but you're basically asking for everyone to hate you situations. If personal time is something that you value, you're not wrong for not helping out your coworker. Furthermore, there must have definitely been other people they could ask, and you don't even know if this person managed their time wisely up until this point with whatever they were wanting help with. At the end of the day, they're responsible for the work and getting it done, not you. What do you think? Is OP the a-hole? Thank you for joining us today on rLounge. Before you go, be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. If you have something you want to say regarding today's content, share that with us in the comments below.